What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I know the Indiana Pacers fans, man, y'all gotta be living it up. Finally out of the first round after like 10 plus years of not making it out. First time they've advanced in the playoffs in that damn long. And honestly, I think it's so awesome because this Pacers team is so much fun. Like the way they play, their play style, the team camaraderie, everything about them is fun. And Pacers fans ain't really had a whole lot of fun in a long time. So it's dope that they're moving on to the second round. And they played the Bucks. They beat the Bucks in 6. It was a pretty hard-fought series in a couple of the games at least. And like this, they played who's in front of them. They got it done. Now you're going on to play either the Knicks or the Sixers. That's still undecided at the making of this video. And ultimately, I want to talk about that first-round series, why I think this team has very high potential to making the Eastern Conference Finals, and what everything kind of looks like for them, right? So before I get into it, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I love it when y'all do that. If you like this kind of content, please like the video. I always love that too. So without further ado, let's talk about this first round series with the Bucks and the Pacers, because the Pacers took it to them in a lot of these games, and they had a lot of things that happened in this series, and we'll get it out of the way. The Bucks, they didn't have Giannis. I get it. I understand that. The Pacers can only play who's in front of them. They got it done. But the way they got it done, and the multitude of ways they got it done, was what makes me so intrigued by them, and this is why I think they're one of the most fun teams to watch. Let's go down the list of what they got from each member really on the team, right? So you have Pascal Siakam. In the first couple of games, he had 30-plus points. Kind of came out, and this is what you need out of that guy with experience in the playoffs, is to set the tone and calm the guys down a little bit. He did that. Didn't have those 30-plus point games in the rest of the series, but he played very, very well in the first few games and was dominant on the floor out there. And then, of course, we have the Tyrese Haliburton game where we get a game winner and one, where he has like 16 assists, a triple-double in that game. In the closest, I think that was a 2 OT game, if I remember correctly, with Chris Middleton just hitting contested three after contested three, whatever it was. Ultimately, Tyrese Haliburton gets it done in the biggest moment, in the biggest game of the series, I think, because I think we're 1-1 at that point. And if you go down 2-1, it's a lot more different story we're having, or a lot different conversation we're having. But Tyrese Haliburton shows up in the biggest moment. And you get 14 points per game throughout the series from Andrew Nembhard. You had 20-point games from him. You had games where he was offensive rebounding like a maniac as a small guard. You have him playing awesome defense on Dame and just doing everything that it takes, like setting that edge. And that is something that is so dope to watch, because this is a dude that was largely slept on coming into the NBA and has niched out a very important role on this team where he's the combo guard next to Tyrese Haliburton, who takes that pressure off. I love what Nembhard does. He's so good at particularly at what he does in the 3-point shooting, the creating, the rebounding, and the defending. Those dudes don't grow on trees. And for them to have somebody like that right next to Haliburton that fits perfectly, oof, it's so good. You get Miles Turner with 3 20-plus point games and largely outplays Brook Lopez in this series. That's awesome. And Miles Turner is one of the better centers in the league. And what he had a very good series pretty much throughout. Like he was, besides I think it was game 1 and game 6 today where he didn't really have to do anything. He was very, very impactful. Aaron Nesmith just splashing threes and playing the most physical, hard defense that you possibly could with the rebounding effort. He, a lot like Nembhard, that energy and that effort and that hustle is what makes them so special, because they're able to play at such a high pace in large part from those guys. Nesmith being a very, very important contributor to that. You got Obi Toppin off the bench with 10-plus points in the last 4 games of the series. In the playoffs, you're only going to play 7 or 8 guys. If you play more than that, you're probably going to lose. And you need those 3 guys off the bench that you're giving minutes to be providing value. You have to do something out there that makes you be at least an option on the court. And when you're putting up 10-plus points off the bench in the playoffs, that's key. And it may not seem like a lot, but when I get 14 from Obi Toppin, I get 19 from Obi Toppin, that's a huge boost to my offense. Then you get TJ McConnell, who's just a savvy vet off the bench, relieving Tyrese Haliburton when they need him to spell a few minutes. And even tonight, game 6, has his best playoff game of his career, 20 points and 8 assists, or 9 assists, whatever it was. Dude had a playoff career high with 20 points. And this game was getting a little sketchy in the end of the third quarter-ish. The Pacers were up by 12, and it got cut to 6 or 7. And then there was about 45 seconds where TJ McConnell hits like 2 threes, and it stretches it back out. And if you're getting gamed by T.J. McConnell from the three-point line, that's telling you everything you know about that, how that game is gonna go for you. Because if he's hitting those, there ain't nothing that you're really gonna be able to do to stop that team. You can't sack if you're leaving him open and he's gonna knock him down. You're screwed. And I think what makes them so dangerous for the second round series, no matter if they play the Knicks or the Sixers, whoever, because that game's about to start right now. Whatever happens in that series, both those teams are gonna have their hands full with dealing with the Pacers. And the crazy, and this is why I think it's such a challenge, they play so fast that, I'm sorry, Joel Embiid, as much as I love that guy and I'm a big fan of Embiid, he's not playing at that pace for 42 minutes. That's just not happening. Tyrese Maxey, maybe. I'd love to see that. I would love to see Maxey and Haliburton go at it. That would be a great playoff matchup. But I just don't think stylistically those teams they're going to be in hell chasing the Pacers around and dealing with the amount of effort that they put in on the glass at such a high level. The pace is going to be a problem. Then if you want to talk about the Knicks like to play at a slower pace. Jalen Brunson likes to slow it down. Now, don't get me wrong, that Jalen Brunson-Tyrese Haliburton matchup is good. It's great. But the Knicks, they don't want to run and gun like that all game long. Because let's be honest, those dudes are going to play 48 minutes. They're going to play 6 or 7 dudes, and they're going to play... Like Josh Hart, if it goes to triple overtime, Josh Hart is going to play every single minute in the game. And I think stylistically these matchups are really fun because the Knicks are a bruiser and they want to play slow and physical and that, you want to get, Brunson's going to get his shots and that's how they're going to play. Pacers are going to be running and gunning, everybody's touching the ball, everybody's shooting it, everybody's playing, everybody's involved. And if we want to revert back to the Sixers, they want to slow it down. They want to run pick and roll with Maxey and Embiid. They want to get Embiid the ball in the post. They want to run things at the slowest rate possible. So stylistically, it is a complete clash of styles right there. So this second round series is going to be awesome. Just no matter how you look at it. Because the Pacers, what I love about them, besides the pace and the players and everything, the skill sets don't overlap. They have guys that do very specific types of things, and there's not a whole lot of overlapping. It's not like the Phoenix Suns where we have 3 guys that do the exact same thing, and we're paying them $150 million. We have Tyrese Haliburton, who is our star player, right? We have Pascal Siakam, who is our all-star level second player on this team. We have an elite level role player in Miles Turner, and then you have guys like Nembhard. And you have hustle players like Nesmith. You have highlight players like Toppin. You have hustle players like... Nembhard's a hustle player too. Let's just give him that credit too. McConnell coming off the bench. And there's even Shepherd coming off the bench is going to provide that energy. They have such a stylistic... The way they play together is so unique because there's nobody on their team that's going to do what Tyrese Haliburton does. There's nobody on their team that's going to do what Pascal Siakam does except for Pascal Siakam. That's what I think is so different, is why they're so fun. And ultimately, it's a really good collection of 8 players. Then that's what you need. 8 good players in the playoffs. You have that, or 8 dudes that want it more than the next guy, and they're playing together, because I think that is the biggest key to them. They play together. It's not iso ball. Sure, you'll get Tyrese, sizing him up and taking a step back 3 here and there. But ultimately, there's really not a whole lot of iso ball. That ball is getting kicked around, swung. Everybody's touching it. And those are the teams that have great success in the playoffs because they're not boggling it down to one guy all the time, where defenses can now shift all their focus. They're going to have to shift their focus to Haliburton, Siakam, all these guys at different times, and it's going to be a pain in the ass to deal with. So I'm going to put y'all on the spot now. Call it. Do you think if they play the Knicks that they'll beat the Knicks? Do you think if they play the Sixers, they'll beat the Sixers? Either or. Do you think that they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals? I'm going to say I think they make the Eastern Conference Finals no matter who they play. I like this team so much. Going into either of those series, I would take them. And we'll see what happens. I could be wrong. I don't really care if I'm wrong, but I just know that no matter what happens for the Pacers this season, the season was a success. This was a dub of a season. You got out of the woodwork. You got into the playoffs, and you actually went somewhere. Now, where they go is completely up to them. But I think it's so awesome. Also, just to let y'all know, in the regular season, it is just a regular season, but this is when these teams have played. Pacers are 2-1 versus the Knicks and 2-1 versus Sixers. I would take the Pacers in that second round series no matter who they play. And then ultimately, I believe they're probably going to play the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. This is all predictions, of course. But I can't wait to watch this next round because this first round was fun. There was no Giannis or anything like that, which it definitely has an impact. I don't disagree with that. But the Pacers can only play who's in front of them. And they got it done. So do you think they make it to the Eastern Conference Finals? Who do you think they're going to play? Knicks, Sixers, whatever. What do you think is going to be is it Pacers in 7, Pacers in 4, whatever it is? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate y'all for watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Really, really need it. I appreciate it. I love it. And if you like this video, click the like button. That'd be pretty cool. And yeah, I'll see y'all in the next one. I can't wait to see the second round for the Pacers. Super dope. Thanks for watching. Peace.